What is up, my Sabronis, my Cam Dog lovers, and my very sad Ohio State fans? This is first edition of a very emergency pod. Hey, you got to put your headphones in. The echo is gonna.
Sorry.
The echo is gonna go crazy.
Hey, man, my in-ears aren't working.
Nothing about you works half the time, but well, that was disappointing. That was sad. That sucked. That was not the game that I expected to have. Real quick before we get into it, just some real things that happened is that we're 0-3 on New Year's Eve playoff games. 31-0 loss to Clemson in 16, and then to Georgia a few years ago as the clock struck midnight. 0-5 for the teams that got the bye in the last 2 years of the playoffs. We'll see how that happens tomorrow with Texas Tech, Indiana, and Georgia. And honestly, at this point in time, I hope that all three of those teams with the bye lose, because that's how change happens. Is with 2 years in a row when every team with a bye. Because I thought last year it was kind of fluky. I thought last year all four teams just lost to a team that's better than them. Oregon obviously got unlucky by playing Ohio State. Texas was better than Arizona State. Penn State was better than Boise State. Notre Dame beat Georgia, that was very hurt, depleted. And so I thought last year was kind of fluky. But if it happens this year, 2 years in a row, I honestly hope it happens tomorrow. I hope that Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech all lose. All four teams with a bye would lose.
Even if one or two of them lose.
Especially like at this point, Indiana's the team I want to see win the most. But I mean, only because I like
Am I still echoey?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. It was me who was echoing. I heard myself.
Oh, okay. And here's the thing, honestly. So what do they do on this? I mean, I don't want 16 teams in the play, or that's just,
No, you just started earlier. Like Ohio State, the fact that Ohio State played August 3rd or 2nd or whatever, and then plays again 28 days later, and Miami's coming off a week and a half break. Like, it's not a true bye. A bye week means you have 1 week off, not 3 weeks off. Like,
yeah.
It's not good. It is what it is. Like, it's not unfair. Miami was going to beat us regardless of it, but it's a way for change to happen because we had such a slow start in the first half, and it's a testament to a lot of things. You didn't like the Ryan Day play calling. I didn't think the play calling was that much of an issue. I thought it was the O-line the first half.
The O-line was
the
bad.
First half versus Indiana too, and we all knew when Fielding went out there right before halftime that they weren't going to make it.
I was not expecting him to make it, to be honest. I was expecting him to miss it, and he did. It's one of those that have lower expectations. But, the O-line, you can see where blocking really hurt Ohio State. It wasn't so much Miami's scheme. I mean, they had a couple times where they did stunts, and the offensive lineman just stood there like who you blocking? So they weren't doing anything crazy. It was just they were just blocks of marble that didn't move. And so, but even the blocking scheme down to Jeremiah Smith, unfortunately, that obviously cost us a touchdown. He was just lazy on the blocking scheme, and it cost us. And so I mean, it was blocking, but it was all the way around, and it just and it was just too much too late for Ohio State. And I still didn't like the play calling the first half. I thought it was bad, but I told you, and all the Miami fans out there, remember I said this is shaping up exactly like it was in 2002, man. An unbelievably talented one team, and the other team has something to prove, and they showed that grit. And so you got to give it to Miami, man. I don't think they're the better team at all. No way. But they're the better team today, and that's all that matters.
They wanted more. Their D-line was insane. Their D-line was really, really good. And their linebackers tackled the space really well. Bo Jackson did not have any big, long runs. And they had long runs, especially on that last drive, because our linebackers, I think, tackled well. Caleb Downs tackled. Jermaine Matthews versus Indiana and today, there was just, like, why are we playing such deep zone? Why is he 10 yards off so much and just going to the easy stuff? They let Carson Beck just, like, he played well. Like, he was a game manager like you said he was going to be, and he did a really good job of just taking what was there, not making stupid plays. And part of it's luck. Like, the second fumble that they had, he fumbled it, and it went right back to him. And that's just that is lucky. That grass. I mean, when those balls pop up, they just pop right back up to you. They got very lucky with that.
I knew we were in trouble though on the first fumble. We got them to fumble on around the 30. Remember, they were moving the ball downfield in that early in the game. We got them to fumble, and we didn't do anything with the ball. And I knew at that point, and that's the thing with the Ryan Day play calling. I'm like, and I knew we didn't do anything with that, and I thought this is going to be a long night. It was at that point I knew we're going to be in trouble, and we were. So
yeah, no, it definitely stinks. I really wanted to see back-to-back, and I really wanted to see Indiana again. I don't think we were going to get past Georgia anyway at this point after watching tonight, but to win a playoff game would have been cool. Obviously, we're very spoiled with having it last year. But
so what's the solution to this, like the first round bye and getting – like do you say is it something where now you say, okay, we're going to have 12 teams, but we're going to ask the top 4 seeds, hey, do you want to bye or do you want to play?
No, and
I think them have the choice.
I think a true bye helps out. And, like, if you play your Big Ten championship, like Ohio State and Indiana both play Big Ten championship, so they play an extra game where actually Georgia and Texas Tech did too. So if you start the next week, and this is where Army Navy cannot have all day Saturday the next week by themselves anymore. If you make Army and Navy Saturday by themselves, but this year it wasn't. There was bowl games in the afternoon. So if you give them their own time slot, you do a Friday night playoff game, you do Saturday ones, and you get Army and Navy the 3:30 slot, have a 12 o'clock playoff game and 8 o'clock playoff game, but they don't want to go up against the NFL any more than they have to. But you have to start it then. You have to start it then, and then you have to do the next week as your quarterfinal, and then this week is your semifinal weeks, and then the national championship is next week in 1 week. There's solutions to it, but they don't want to do it. And the bowl games don't want, like the Rose Bowl doesn't want to have their quarterfinal game December 20th. But they're just because it's selfish. But it's the money's too big for all those corporations, all the big people right there, and so that's the solution. Hey, I started my apologies to all the Miami fans. I'll get to all of you eventually. I promise. There was a good amount of them. I apologize, but my word.
I'm just glad you didn't agree to do the 5-layer burrito apology.
Somebody commented, and I said no. My boy Blake Newell. He said Blake Newell's a Michigan fan. He wanted to see it. Not happening.
Well, but overall, though, the SEC has been underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten, what you would call the blue blood Big Tens, have not had a good day today. So I mean, the SEC just looked bad, but the blue bloods Big Ten have had a bad day today. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow, but I just don't know what the solution is other than, if you remember, I talked about last time, or if it was the episode before, if you go to 16 teams and then you have like the first 2 rounds be home games, but they be the bowl games of, something like that might be a fix. But
I also think, and if you're going to do that, reseed it. Like you have your one play 16, 2 play 15, all those, and then if 16 wins, then that goes in place 2. Like you can reseed it so that the top teams always have the better. And a lot of it's matchup and doesn't matter because like obviously Ohio State last year, like the seeding, they weren't the 8th best team, but it was just the seeding, and they end up getting Oregon in the second round. It is what it is.
But I think what you said earlier is right. You're never going to overcome the NFL once they start those Saturdays. And so you're just never going to be able to displace those games, and that's the problem. So
unless you stack them with like the 12 o'clock and the 3:30, you could do 2. You could do a Friday night. You could do 2, and you can. I mean, but again, Army Navy feels entitled that they have to have the 3:30. I love Army Navy; it's a great rivalry. But like, what's bigger in the sport, the playoff or Army Navy? Or move Army Navy to the championship week. Like if Army and Navy don't make their conference championships, if they did, then I guess like you could move Army and Navy back 1 week. You could push it back, like, theoretically, because in high school football all the time, like you find out who you're going to play after week 10, like the Saturday after week 10, you find out who you're going to play, and you get prepared for them in 1 week. This year with the moving to 12, like the top 4 teams in each region had a bye, and you found out who you're going to play the winner of that week, and then you knew
you have 1 week to prepare and go.
Yeah, and that's how football works. That's what a true bye week is, not 3.5 weeks off in between. And the 4 team, everybody had the same amount of time off.
Yeah.
Now it's just not. It's not that. So
Yep.
I don't know where Ohio State goes from here. Obviously, Jaden Fielding will never kick for Ohio State again. I don't know if he's eligible to if he's got years left. But if you're Ryan Day, you gotta say, buddy, like you're done.
Yeah.
I expect Sain's played poor the last 2 weeks, 2 games.
That dude needs to hit the weight room.
Yep.
He needs to gain 10 to 15 pounds of muscle.
And hit the portal for the O-line. The O-line's got to get revamped. It's got to get fixed. Yeah. But I expect offensively next year, like, yeah, you're going to lose Carnell. It stinks, but you got plenty of dudes. I'm not the biggest Innis guy, but it cannot just be Jeremiah Smith is open somewhere. The scheme has to allow Jeremiah Smith to be open somewhere. So,
yeah, we'll see what develops with the changes coming in the offseason and everything else. But yeah, so who's your team moving forward?
I don't know. Oregon, Indiana, Big Ten team. I don't really want to see. I hate seeing other teams now Ohio State win it. I would never root for Michigan, but the other two I'll root for to represent the Big Ten. If not, then Texas Tech. Texas Tech would be cool to see. I just don't think they could get it done.
Someone different.
I don't think anybody's picking Georgia though. I think Georgia's my pick to win it all now. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in Georgia. So, I had one more thing, but you made me lose track of it. If Nick Saban many years ago when Lane Kiffin was the OC and Lane Kiffin took the FAU job, he told Lane like, just be done. Like before the national championship, just go be done. Like I think Lane coached the semifinal game, he said be done. I think if you're Ryan Day, the next time this happens, if your OC does take a job, just be done. And I love it's nothing against Brian Hartline. I think we're all grateful for Brian Hartline as a player, as a coach. He's done a lot of really good. It was probably more distraction than there was good for it, and I'm happy for Hartline. If we would have won a championship, he deserves all the credit for the regular season. But there's just too much now with everything that it's just not worth it anymore. And
I agree.
It's not a knock on him. It's for the best. I think
it's a distraction,
mm-hmm.
and not a nefarious distraction. It's just a distraction.
Just part of college football. So until the schedule changes.
So. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to now write down Sabo's address. I'm going to put on the screen so you can go find him.
You don't know my address.
He also works. No, never mind. No, Miami fans, be nice.
I'm working on my apologies. I'm working on it. I know, and
it's you better get used to eating that crow. At least I was honest enough to say. I don't, and this is like I said. If you remember in the last podcast, I did not, or the podcast, or I saw it online, and I think you liked it, and you were like, Jeremiah Smith spouting off, well, we got something special for him. I'm like, dude, just shut up and go play on the field. That stuff rarely ends well. Joe Namath pulled it off, and he's legendary because it never works out for you. So, so I think it's one of those things where players learn, and they learn some stuff from that. And I'm to sign us off tonight, Sabo. In all the years I've played ball, I had an older, wiser man tell me. I learned a lot about umpiring and everything from him. He said, Scott, there's two kinds of teams. There's those that are humble and those about to be humbled. Really simple. And so we got humbled tonight. That's the way it goes. And you just ended with a sour note. But you know what? Everyone but one team ends the season that way. So we'll be okay.
Yep. Hey, last time we lost our last Big Ten game of the season and then lost a bowl game was 2 years ago. We lost to Michigan, then we lost to Missouri. And we won the national championship the next year. So as a Buckeye fan, I'm always optimistic.
I'm glad you are.
Can't wait for the Steelers to just dagger in the heart this weekend.
That's probably going to happen, too.
It will.
It's okay.
Hey, I'll see you next year.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Dad. Yep.
Enjoy these games tomorrow.